Hey, First Allen family, Pastor Mary Beth here. So I want to tell you, I learned this week about a book that came out in 2016 that was written by Archbishop Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. It's called The Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World. These two Nobel laureates are two people who together have experienced 50 years of exile, and also are two who have experienced lasting oppression in the world. And yet they are two of the most joyful people in the world. So they came together in April of 2015 to celebrate the Dalai Lama's 80th birthday. And coming together, they realized that they had something they could offer that would be a real gift to the world. Looking back over their long and very interesting lives, in which they experienced such hardship, they asked themselves the question, how do we find joy in the face of life's difficult hardships? So what they do in this book is they've come up with 8 pillars of joy. And those pillars are perspective, humility, humor, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, gratitude, and generosity. And when I heard about these pillars, I thought, I got to get this book. I got to learn from them about joy, and I really want to know what they have to say, particularly about gratitude and generosity. Because if you know me, you know that I'm someone who seeks to practice the spiritual discipline of gratitude. My morning quiet time always begins with reading scripture and then with writing down what I'm grateful for at that point in my day, even if it's at dark 30 in the morning. Now, what I've learned about the Archbishop and the Dalai Lama is their suggestion about gratitude and keeping a gratitude journal is that you do it at the end of the day, that you pause at the end of the day and you close your eyes and you think about 3 things in your life for which you're grateful. And then you write them down. And you try to write down 3 things that are different than what you might have written down the day before. Now, faith and science tell us that this practice of gratitude is good for us, and I've experienced this personally. There's a very interesting study that was done by 2 research scientists in California that discovered that people who keep a list of things they're grateful for experience a number of things that I think we all want to experience. These are folks who are more likely to have made progress toward important life goals. They have more vitality and compassion and optimism. They experience greater life satisfaction, and they have lower levels of stress and depression. All of which is to say, not only is gratitude good for our souls, it's good for our bodies. So the practice of gratitude is also deeply rooted in the Judeo-Christian tradition. The call to gratitude is all throughout our scripture. And in fact, here at First Allen, the call to gratitude has become an essential part of whenever we come to worship together. We stop and we name before God in worship what we're grateful for. Now, if you participate in worship this weekend, whether you're here in person or you watch on the live stream or you watch the recording later on, you're going to see that our children and youth are leading us in gratitude. This past week, they created beautiful chalk art out in the parking lot, naming what they're grateful for when they think about their church and what some of you have said you're grateful for. And if you're here this weekend, you'll have the opportunity to add to that chalk gratitude expression. The psalmist has said, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. God's steadfast love endures forever." Indeed, let us give thanks and let us be grateful. I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for me. Shalom.